Alana Reed showed up for her first day as the new commander at the precinct. Nothing flashy, just calm and collected like she'd done this 100 times before. She stepped out of her car just before 7 a.m., dressed down, no uniform yet, no fanfare. She wanted to watch the station wake up before walking in. Standing by the staff parking lot, she checked her phone, waiting for a file transfer. Simple, routine, at least that's what she thought. Then everything shifted. Out of nowhere, 3 officers who didn't know who she was closed into a men and a woman, each with their own brand of suspicion and subtle menace. The first, a broad-shouldered white guy named Rick Dalton, stepped forward, voice sharp, telling her to move away because it was a restricted area. His hand hovered near his holster, eyes cold and unwelcoming. Alana stood her ground, calm but unshaken, told him she was waiting for official business. His gaze flicked down to her shoes, that silent judgment saying everything she didn't belong. Before she could say more, the others joined in. Jenna Marks, quick with a sarcastic smile, mocked her presence like she was some clueless outsider. No uniform, no badge, no right to be there. Alana slowly pulled her ID from inside her jacket, holding it up without aggression. Jenna laughed, dismissing it as a fake. Dalton raised his voice, threatening to arrest her for trespassing. But then Tyler Mason, the youngest officer, standing nearby with his coffee, cast a glance at Alana's badge. His hesitation was a crack in the wall of hostility, but Dalton quickly silenced him with a glare. "You sure you want to do this?" Alana asked, voice steady, not angry but firm. Dalton accused her of playing games. She cut him off, said she was there for work. Then, without a fuss, she tucked the ID away and walked past them like they didn't exist, calm, contraled, no panic, no fear, just a silent assertion of authority. Dalton barked orders, but she ignored him. She didn't raise her voice. She just kept walking. Inside, the whispers started, but Alana didn't look back. The silence she carried was heavier than any shouting. When she entered the main conference room at 8 a.m., the entire precinct fell still. 25 officers stopped their chatter, eyes fixed on her. Now in full uniform, the badge shining under the lights. She didn't carry files or memos, just a small remote control and a face that gave nothing away. She spoke calmly, without demanding quiet. "I'm Commander Reed," she said. She laid it out from the start. This wasn't about changing furniture or patrol routes. It was about culture, conduct, and accountability. Then, the room dimmed, and a grainy black and white photo appeared on the screen. A young black officer named James Reed, standing proud in uniform. "That's my brother," she said quietly. Her brother served nearly a decade with honor, never reckless, never abusive, but one day, he made the mistake of standing up for a rookie who was being harassed by her own partner. He filed a report, told the truth, and within a month, he was gone, reassigned, investigated, and pushed out. The silence in the room was suffocating. Alana clicked again. Words appeared. "Character is who you are when no one is recording." She faced him fully. "Your job doesn't start with your badge. It starts with who you are without it." There was a shift in the room, subtle but real. Alana asked the officers if they thought their actions outside the building, without words, would reflect well on the department. No one answered. She wasn't there to humiliate anyone, but she warned that if their conduct invited humiliation, she wouldn't shield them from it. Tyler opened his mouth to speak, but shut it again at a subtle shake from Dalton. The tension was thick. Then she gave him a choice: step up and restore the department's name, or continue hiding in the shadows, waiting for the next lawsuit or viral video. "Those who protect misconduct will not be protected by me," she said, voice steady and final. Angela Lopez, a veteran officer at the back, nodded one solidarity in silence. Later, alone in her office, Alana replayed the video of Dalton accusing her, saving the clip with a label: South Lot, 7:42 a.m. She stared at the frozen frame. Dalton's finger pointed, his jaw clenched, a silent reminder of what she faced, not as commander, but as a black woman standing firm in a sea of doubt. Then Tyler Mason knocked hesitantly and entered, voice shaky as he confessed he should have stopped the officers, knew it was wrong, but froze. Alana's disappointment was quiet but clear. Not yelling, not fighting back was a failure too. Tyler admitted he didn't know how to speak up. "Then you better learn," she said. His silence afterward spoke volumes. Angela appeared with a file, asking if they should file misconduct reports. Alana said not yet. People show their true colors when they think the heat's gone. She was giving them rope to hang themselves or to choose differently. Meanwhile, Dalton's locker slam echoed down the hall, frustration boiling over. He ranted about Alana's promotion being a quota hire, a diversity checkbox, and how he had to salute someone he thought didn't deserve it. Jenna, shaken from the social media storm after her mocking smile went viral, tried to calm him down. The department was cracking open, exposed by video and voices. Angela came to Alana's office with news the city council was worried about protests. Social media was ablaze with the clip of Jenna mocking a black woman's humiliation. They were trying to contain the damage, but Alana leaned back, eyes dark. Let them watch. Let them wait. Truth leaks through cracks. That night, Tyler sat alone, listening again to the recording of Dalton's slurs. He drafted a detailed complaint to the state inspector general, attaching the audio, signing it, respectfully, Officer Tyler Mason. The quiet whistle of change had begun. Alana sat in her office, looking at a faded photo of two recruits, herself and her brother Aaron. She remembered when white officers mocked her in the locker room, how Aaron stepped between her and them like a wall of fire. The next day, Aaron was publicly stripped of his badge, told not to protect weakness. Angela Lopez, once a junior admin, had witnessed it all and carried that memory like a scar. Angela admitted she never spoke up for Aaron, but Alana understood fear. She pulled out a velvet box containing Aaron's warm badge. "He wasn't protecting weakness," she whispered. "He was protecting dignity." Tyler sat on his father's porch, reading his dad's old Journal patrol cop who lost his badge for reporting abuse. The words hit hard. "If you ever have to choose between your badge and your conscience, God help you if you choose wrong." Alana's strength wasn't in rage, but in standing still, letting silence be louder than anger. She wasn't there to punish, but to repair what had been broken. The next morning, the precinct felt different, not louder, but shifting. Alana returned Aaron's badge to its box, whispered, "You didn't fall for nothing," straightened her uniform, and prepared to rewrite the system. The conference room was colder than usual when Rick Dalton entered, swagger replaced by hesitation. Angela and Lisa Breener from the State Inspector General's office sat ready. The meeting began with Lisa playing the recording of Dalton's hateful words. The room froze. Alana cut in sharply. "You weren't out of line. You were out of mask." Dalton called it a setup, but the evidence was damning. Officers corroborated the recording, and internal complaints piled up. "This isn't about leadership," Lisa said. "It's about your record catching up with your mouth." Dalton tore off his badge in rage and stormed out, leaving behind a silence thick with change. Angela said, "That was the easy part. Now comes the cleanup." Alana's voice barely above a whisper. "We've carried this silence for too long." Then Lisa dropped the final bomb. Tyler Mason had submitted his signed statement with full audio logs, ready to testify if needed. As Lisa left, Angela turned to Alana. "You broke the silence. Now let's see who else will follow." Jenna Marks knocked on Alana's door, eyes tired but sincere, handing over a handwritten letter and apology without words. Alana said softly, "Words don't heal. Action does. No forgiveness yet, but a crack in the armor." Later, the precinct gathered for a recognition ceremony. Tyler stood tall as Alana pinned a bronze emblem on his chest for moral courage, the kind it takes to break silence. The applause was steady, honest. Angela announced new training led personally by Alana and herself. The crowd murmured, curious, unsure, but ready for change. Sergeant Miguel Banks stepped forward quietly, admitting he too stayed silent but wanted to help build something new. Alana smiled, offered her hand. "Then we start here." Sunlight streamed through the precinct windows, cutting through old shadows. The place no longer felt weighed down by walls of silence, but alive with the fire of change. Months later, on a talk show called Voices of Reform, Alana was asked why she never yelled that day outside the precinct. Her answer was simple, quiet. I said all I needed to say. The room held its breath. Afterward, among messages flooding in, was a letter from a 12-year-old girl named Janelle. Quiet people don't win, but you were the quietest person, and you still won. One day, I'll be like you. Alana's reply? Don't be like me. Be better. But never forget how I stood still. Sometimes change doesn't shout. It just shows up and stays. The precinct was changing. Headlines faded, but new programs took hold. Tyler became a bridge between generations. Alana remained steady, a silent force. One afternoon, she paused by a new plaque. Command begins with character. She didn't smile or boast, just remembered, and walked on quiet, strong, letting her story echo longer than any shout. Because sometimes the most powerful stand is the one taken in silence, not out of fear, but out of strength. Dignity doesn't demand attention. It earns it. Justice, no matter how long it takes, begins with someone who refuses to back down. So what do you think? Was Alana right to stay silent in the face of disrespect? Or should she have fought louder? Drop your thoughts below, because the real change starts when we talk honestly about justice, dignity, and what it takes to lead. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it, and let's keep the conversation going.